Namaste all our viewers and subscribers who have been watching our videos and sharing your thoughts and comments and likes, and also the subscribers who are subscribing our channel. Thank you so much for the same and the encouragement and inspiration you are giving us to do more and more videos and share our knowledge with you for good health and well-being. In the last 3 episodes, we have spoken about fasting. What is fasting? How to do the fasting? What are the different kinds of fasting as well? Today, let us try to understand what are all the possible adverse or side effects of fasting. To do fasting is a big step forward mentally. We have discussed this in the previous video. But in order to get that step going and do the fasting, we are always concerned about what would happen to me, what are the possible side effects which would happen and make things worse for me in terms of health and well-being is a big thing which can happen in our mind to not to do fasting. But let me assure you that the adverse or side effects of fasting are not that severe to stop the fasting practice, because the benefits of fasting are much more than the adverse effects of fasting. We have spoken about the benefits of fasting in the first episode itself. Today let us focus about the different side effects or adverse effects of the fasting. One of the most important side effects of fasting is the feeling of hunger and cravings. The moment you stop eating your food at the times what you generally have, like breakfast, lunch, mid-morning or mid-afternoon, whatsoever your practice is, the first thing which happens for us is the hunger time, the hunger pangs, because the juices are secreted in our stomach and the intestines at that particular time and we feel like eating, and the cravings, which is generally can be managed by drinking water or your calorie restricted food in terms of juices or fruits, whichever you are kind of fasting you are practicing, can help you reduce that hunger pangs and the cravings what you have while doing fasting. So not to worry about that. The second most important thing is many people who are doing the fasting practice, they feel lightheadedness or headache. This is a very common complaint, but this will not be very severe. But those who are suffering from headaches like migraines, sinus headaches or different kinds of headache, they are more prone to headaches during fasting than others. A study has indicated that. Why does this happen? This headache or lightheadedness is generally because of low glucose levels in our body when we don't eat adequately, because we're used to eating constantly at all 3 times or 2 times in a day. That's the reason why you feel that. That's why having any kind of fruit or juices at the right time of your food timing will help us to mitigate these headaches. And also good amount of hydration by drinking water shall also help us to mitigate this headaches or lightheadedness. Along with that, if you rest well during the fasting time and not focusing too much of physical activity or your work activities by watching laptop or screen or TV or mobile phone, will also help you to mitigate this headache and lightheadedness. This is the most common complaint we find during the fasting. The third one is irritability. Irritability is more of a mental symptom. That's because of our habit of eating all the time or at regular intervals will help us to keep our blood glucose levels very normal and to the required extent. But when we don't eat or we are on caloric restriction or any kind of devoid of food, automatically blood glucose goes down. That can cause at times a lot of irritability. So the answer for this is as well is rest and taking the food which you are kind of doing the fast, maybe the juice or fruit fasting, at the right times will also help to negate that irritability. And one more important aspect to negate these 3 adverse effects which we just spoke about is to use a cold abdomen compress on the abdomen, which will help us to manage these symptoms much better. The irritability being the third one. The fourth one is sleep disturbances. Several studies have indicated while fasting there is a lot of sleep disturbances. Either they are unable to fall asleep, or if they sleep, they are not able to sleep continuously through the day, through the time of sleep. So that is also because of lack of food or nutrition during that period of time. But these are all symptoms which can be managed very effectively by proper rest, and also getting occupied with your mind with light activity, maybe a little bit of doing yoga or reading some books, or having to watch television with a very lighter note, or listening to music, or chanting, meditation and yoga nidra practice. They all will help us to manage our sleep disturbances as well. These are some of the very common frequent side or adverse effects what we find during fasting. The last one is what we call it as digestive issues. You may feel diarrhea, constipation or bloated abdomen during the fasting period. That's because either because we are not having adequate hydration with water, which can lead to constipation, and at times diarrhea can be a reason, not several times, maybe 2 or 3 times. That's because detoxification is happening. And sometimes bloated feeling also may be there, because if you have already had a digestive issue before, then also you will have bloated feeling when you are not eating at the right time when you are supposed to eat. Not adequately eating also can cause. So cold abdomen compress can help you with all these things, like the diarrhea, constipation, bloated feeling as well. These are some of the common side effects, as I told, which we need to be concerned about. But they can be very effectively managed. You can consult your naturopath, or you can consult us as well at Anandamaya Wellness. We would be very happy to help you out to how to do the fasting for good health and well-being. I am sure this information will help you and inspire you, and not get fear about fasting therapy. I wish you all good health and well-being. Thank you so much for watching.